Carlos, man, I've been thinking about doing this interview and talking to you just about what you've built. I'm proud of what we've built together. I'm proud of what you've built. And right now we're at the Reed's Palace, a Belmont hotel on the island of Madeira on our last 2 nights of our trip with a group of 20 people. Mm-hmm. Something that we've been working on for the last 8 months. And before we even get into how we started this collaboration and this whole idea to bring a group mm-hmm. here, let's just talk a little bit about how we met and Backroads, and I'll kind of briefly introduce what I know about you, and then I'd like you to run with it. So I know you were born in Valencia, and mm-hmm. you spent almost 16 years working with Backroads, right?
Technically 16 years to the day.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was hired February 29th on a leap day, and the last day that I had access to email was February 29th. So it's funny, it's 16 years to the day technically, yeah. A bit less because I stopped a few months before, but yeah.
Awesome. When I started in 2013, that was the year that Staff Ride was in Andalusia. Mm-hmm. And I remember coming in, I think I was 22, 23 years old, and you were a superstar. You were leading the Staff Ride. Like, I don't know, you just kind of hear about these people, and we hadn't had a chance to really meet yet, but I knew who you were. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, a couple years went by, and you eventually ended up in Tuscany. But for people that have no idea what Backroads is, share with us, I mean, you've led so many of the Staff Rides. What is Backroads? What is Staff Ride?
Well, Backroads is an incredible company where both of us have worked for years, and they are the biggest referent in active travel in the industry. And I think I can relate to you very well because you spent 7 years there, 7 or 8 years, something like that. And now you have your own project, and so do I, that I have my own project now. So no, it was just incredible. I feel now even more grateful for my time there. I have my best friends from there. I had great experiences, and definitely it's a great company to grow, to learn, and to travel the world and have amazing experiences. So yeah, we met there. And you mentioned Staff Ride. Staff Ride is a unique event for the Backroads staff. Every year keeps growing more and more. And organizing things so people have a great time, that's my biggest passion and my biggest talent. So even when I was in Backroads, the moment I could put myself into the Staff Ride team, I ended up actually working on 4 of them. And the last thing I did for them, which is 2 years ago, was the Staff Ride in India. India is a place that is very dear to my heart, and it was a project, an idea of mine to bring the Backroads community to India, and it was the perfect closure for me.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you know, we literally have never talked about this, and we can edit this out, absolutely. No problem. But I think it's such a funny story. I think we have to just like, we gotta.
Oh my goodness, I know where you're going. Okay, no. That doesn't have to be recorded. That's the ex Carlos.
I think, listen, I just think it's too good not to share. I mean, and when I just posted the video of us collaborating on this project, or I did a social media post of some pictures of us collaborating, the first person to comment on it was Josie.
Yeah.
Listen, like I said, we could take this out, but it's such a funny story, and now looking back on it, it's like even crazier that I think you and I are here doing
It's so crazy because I was young and stupid. You were younger and stupid too.
Can I tell?
Go for it. You tell your version of it. You were the victim, so you get to talk.
Literally, it probably was the most embarrassing moment of my life. But
probably.
Also, absolutely hilarious. So like Carlos said, Staff Ride happens at the end of every year, and there are maybe 300 or 400 Backroads leaders getting together in Mallorca. It's day 1. And on the first day, everyone meets in a staging area, right, with all the bikes,
the equipment, the mechanical, everything, you know.
And so I'm pretty well known for not biking at Staff Ride. And actually, I got to give credit to Malcolm. Malcolm was the one who told me, he was like, let me tell you how to do Staff Ride the best. Rent a car, go to all the parties, skip the biking.
This is an event where 300-400 people bike for a week or for 4 days, you know, and everybody's on bikes basically.
Right.
And Mr. Michael Bluestone wasn't on bikes. He wasn't even on biking clothes, you know. So
I did not care. I was literally wearing like gym clothes, and I rented a car, and I would drive to lunch, drive to the hotel, and that would be my day. I would join all the events. I just wouldn't do the biking, so I could spend more time partying and enjoying the evening.
And I, as the organizer of the staff ride, was secretly pissed about people who come to staff ride and don't ride bikes, because we also have to prepare their bikes and then clean their bikes out, you know. And then we were like, we had all these 7, 8 bikes of the people that don't ride that we have to then store and all of that. So
Yeah.
we had a moment.
Extra work.
We had a moment at that staging area where you were wearing your gym clothes,
Oh
and I
my
was kind of
God.
controlling everything was okay.
I remember everything like it was yesterday. I was talking to Quinnen, and out of the corner of my eye, I see Josie walking towards me. And for people
Josie,
that don't know Backroads,
the biggest manager, well, a big boss. Let's
she
say,
is just
yeah.
like, if you were in trouble, you talk to Josie. If you're doing great, Josie's compliment meant the most. So like, she was definitely the person that you wanted to watch out for.
And at that point, I had teased you already 3, 4 times about you not riding. I was like,
Yes.
Bluestone, where are your biking clothes? Seriously.
So I see Josie out of the corner of my eye, and she's coming over with her arms like wide open to give me a hug. And in that exact moment, you come behind me and pants me. And pantsing is basically just like prank. I used to play it on friends. It wasn't the first time, it wasn't the last time, but Carlos pantses me right in front of Josie.
Which I didn't see Joe coming. I was just, this is what happens if you don't ride that stuff right. Boom.
And you didn't know that I was wearing shorts that had the built-in liners. I didn't even have underwear on. So
And who doesn't wear underwear? Seriously. So
So this happens, and I see Josie, she just covers her face, and she just walks the other way. And I'm like looking around with 300 Backroads friends around me. I try to bend over as quickly as I can to pull up
and
my
then I went,
pants.
okay, I'm fired.
This was also right after the no means no conversation that Josie always has. But I bend over to pick up my pants, and the bike right in front of me cracks right in my forehead, and I start bleeding. So now I'm like half naked, bleeding down my forehead. Absolutely the most embarrassing moment of my life.
And I plead guilty as charged.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, and
That is still
I'm very
one
grateful.
of my favorite
and
memories.
I'm very
Like,
grateful you still talk to me. So,
I think it just makes the fact that you and I have been working on this project and collaborating and doing this. I mean, if you had asked me 10 years ago or whenever that was, if we would be ever working on it, I would be like, no way.
no, we never
But-
know, you know. But
It's
no, so far it's been fantastic, and for me as an entrepreneur, for you to give me the chance to develop this trip for your group has been incredible. You know? And again, working on my own project has really helped me connect with the core of this profession, which is to arrange things in a way that people have a great time, you know, and to listen to what makes a difference for them, and that's the core of my new project, you know, to make tailor-made, personalized experiences for my clientele, you know.
And I will say, since I've joined Frosh, you know, it's been a little over a year now, and I, as a travel advisor, as well as doing other things, had a lot of experiences with different destination management companies or DMCs. And your communication, your attention to detail, the way you develop trips, the way that you are so timely and logistically oriented, it is beyond anything that I've personally experienced. And I knew when we would be working together that I could come into this trip, first time ever doing something for a group of mine without going to the place, and feel 100% confident that it would be perfect. And it has been, man. I mean, this wouldn't be a surprise to anybody who knows you from Backroads, but I think a lot of people, like in the travel advisor world, look for companies like you, and it's not easy to find. And that's why I wanted to kind of have this conversation and bring what you're doing to light, because I think it adds huge value to people in my position.
At the end of the day, it's our promise to our guests. It's the promise to deliver an experience that goes beyond traveling, that is a memory of a lifetime. We are lucky to be in an industry that has a direct impact on people's well-being and happiness. You know, for everybody, taking a vacation is the highlight of their year, and other professions don't have that beautiful experience. You know, to have a direct impact on people's experiences, on quality time for people that want to spend time with their chosen ones, but in a world where everything goes so fast, to stop and celebrate life by exploring a new destination is something that we need to claim and celebrate. And the Ventourist is exactly trying to position themselves as that host. That I love the word host. We really believe in the incredible power of a good host and how much it can impact on your experience. And that's how we would like people to see us, and we work hard on that so that people, when they reach out to us, they have this feeling of, when you want to go to a destination and you call this friend that that knows the destination very well, is this expert slash friend slash caretaker that is going to take care of you and put an experience together. We work really hard to keep working on that identity and on that internal structure so that whoever reaches out to us gets that experience.
Yeah.
Not only a nice trip, but also seamless logistics, efficient communication, transparency. Those are little details before, during, and after the trip that we think that people appreciate, and we work hard to deliver that.
Absolutely. So what destinations, I know from your time at Backroads, but would you say now that you've transitioned to the Ventourist, would you say are your top destinations that you offer?
Well, definitely Spain, because I'm Spanish, so I cannot be a better host anywhere else but in Spain. At the same time, for proximity and for how much we know Portugal as well, we've been working with Portugal, a few opportunities to deliver great experiences there. And so far, this is it. But this is not because we don't know other places. There are other places in the world that I know very well, and one day, hopefully, we can also deliver great trips. But, if anybody that has been involved in the beginning of a business, it's very overwhelming. So we really want to grow organically, one new trip at a time, one new destination at a time. And only in Spain and Portugal we can go to many places. Spain is tremendously diverse, and we've already run trips in Mallorca, where we're based, but we've run trips also in Catalonia, Basque Country, La Rioja, Camino de Santiago, Canary Islands, and now Azores and Madeira. So we have a couple of requests for new regions, Andalusia for next year. So we will keep delivering those, and the idea is to keep growing.
Yeah. And I think, when I came to you with a group and wanted a new destination like the Azores and Madeira, you were ready to develop it and it made sense for you. Maybe if it's a FIT client or just a couple, that it may not make sense for you to do that, but I know it's something that you're open to, and obviously with your trip development experience with Backroads, it's something that you're incredibly good at.
Yeah, definitely trip development is my talent and my passion. So we definitely, as a team, because I'm only half of the Ventourist, the other half is my business partner Mar, who she's owner of Hotel Sombrui. That's how we met each other, and she's also part of the quality commission of Relais Chateau. So she comes from the hotel world, I come from the tour operator, and right now we both do everything. But in general, I'm the person who's in charge of trip development. And you just put the example of exactly how most of our clients are reaching out to us. Most of them reach with a question. In your case, it was, could we do Madeira and Azores combined on on the same trip? And we really, it's a lost battle to try to fight against big companies, because there are very strong big companies out there and they have a great offer, and it's not who we want to be, but whoever has arrived to us, and that's something that we're learning, is someone who is attracted about us being local and small and ready to listen to what is it that you would like for us to develop your trip. And so far our clients have not in common the type of activity or the destination or not even the level of the activity, but they do have all in common that they all want to be listened, and we are collaborating with a cycling club in Australia that they say we would like cycling experience for the members of our club, and they had very specific, requests about bike models and the distances that they wanted to do every day. We also parallelly had a group of French people. They were a group of friends that they were in their late 70s and 80s, and they say, we are aware this will be our last years of cycling, we want someone who can put a program that can adapt to our abilities, you know? So what these two have in common is that they reached out to us because they saw in the Ventourist someone who can listen to them and tailor-made an experience for them. And when you play with timing, when you play with activities, when you play with the different things you can do in a destination, the same destination can be visited in many different ways, you know, and we really are passionate about it, and we are working hard to deliver those type of experiences, you know.
Man, it shows. I'm grateful for what you did for our group, and I think everyone on my trip has just had the best time, and I have no hesitations at all recommending you to anybody in any destination because it's you, honestly. But I am curious, just, you know, because these transitions they're not easy. You were in a nice, cozy place with Backroads for 16 years. You had all the security, and then you're going off on your own, starting your own business. I know you have a partner, but it's still like a very cold and uncertain place.
It can be cold out there.
So
when you leave your cozy home, sometimes you go, oh, there are days where you go, this is the best thing I ever did. I feel so empowered and I feel so accomplished. And there are days where you go, oh, what did I do with my life? I had a paycheck at the end of the month, and this uncertainty, or you know, it's definitely an adjustment and an emotional roller coaster. But you know,
what has been the biggest failure that has helped you, or the biggest like lesson learned in this transition? Or
in this transition,
even previously, like in Backroads, if you learned something that has now helped you grow. I mean, it could
well,
be, you know.
I don't necessarily like the word failure. I prefer to say lesson or you know, growth. But the best bad decision I ever took in my life was, or one of them, my professional life, was to accept a position in the office when they offered it to me. I had been already working for Backroads for 6 years. I was finally getting, you know, I was someone that was completely engaged with the life in the field, being a triple leader, you know, and finally I was senior, I was getting all the destinations that I wanted, and they offered me this position in the office. And I had this big feeling of this was not for me, you know, at the moment. This is the type of job that would be good for me now, although now I have my own project, but at the time, I was not ready to settle down. I still wanted to travel the world. I still wanted to be out there with clients, with colleagues, you know. And but I say yes. I felt kind of pressure. Now looking back, I felt pressure to take it. So, and there was a couple of years with a lot of growth. I learned a lot about myself, about business, but definitely, eventually, I realized that that was not the right job for me, and I, you know, quit that job and went back to the field. And honestly, looking back, I'm very happy about everything.
Yeah.
At the time, I did suffer a little bit because it was not for me. So it's almost like wearing shoes that are not your size. You're like, oh my God. So it was really a bit of a struggle.
So since then, what have you become better at saying no to?
Saying no to? Well, it's something that we're dealing with, Mar and I, my business partner and I are constantly, we're working very hard to work on our identity as a travel company. And it's not something that is very easy, because some people reach out to you because they Google you and you show up in their Google search, and sometimes you know, we get requests such as, I'm in a cruise ship in Mallorca, I have a day off, can you organize a bike ride for me? Or you know, someone who has planned already hotels and restaurants, but they just want the bike ride, or they just want some concierge type of service. And it's not the company we are working hard to develop. We are working hard to develop a company that delivers tailor-made, head-to-toe, active, high-end trips, you know. And anything that doesn't fit into that, it's challenging for us to deliver. And it's hard because you get requests all the time, and you could say yes to everything, but it would be being all over the place. You know, we have to stay loyal to where we are, and at the same time, stay flexible enough so that some projects can be inside of the Ventourist, you know. So
I love that. I mean, I love that you know what you want to be and you're focused on that, because I've seen just so many companies try to expand their footprint to so many different destinations, and it all just kind of, the overall quality starts to go down.
And
I just wish I could have you in like all the different destinations in the world.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Thank you.
But
No, but day trips. We could do day trips. We actually did last year 2-day trips, and there are incredible companies that do day trips, and we have the knowledge to do day trips. We just, every time that we put attention and energy towards something that is not who we want to be, it's just taking the resources out of our goal. And it's almost like we have defined our path and now we have to walk it one step at a time, you know? So it takes time for someone to understand, you know, your identity and your promise as a company. You know, we understand it very well with brands that are very well established, but with some others, it takes time, and we're working on it. And the last months, we're getting the type of feedback that we want to get. You know, whether it fits FIT, so individual travelers, that private groups that would like to develop something with us, or travel agencies, or other brands like yours, which you put an idea together, you have a vision, and we develop it for you. You know, and these brands could be, as I mentioned, cycling club or a cooking school. We're in contact with a cooking school in Toronto, and a hiking club in San Francisco that they do day trips to put a trip together for them and their community. And I think that's something that Bluestone Travel does very, very well, which is you are basically offering a trip for people to travel with their community. It's beyond signing up on an active trip. You could sign up on an active trip of whatever company and meet other people, which is great, and have a fantastic time. But in your case, you are offering an active trip for people that belong to the same community, many of them to the same social club, many of them know each other through other people. And that is an extra level of connection, you know, and I think that that is something very special. So to develop trips for that type of clientele is something that we are really, the couple of times we've done it, we've especially enjoyed that, and we'd like to also put our effort into that.
I mean, you saw today all the women that we're talking about now doing a Menorca trip with you. I mean, this is how it goes, right? Like, you set up something really nice for people. They know you, they enjoy it, they want to keep traveling together to a different destination, and that has been kind of my model to some extent. And I think it's something, when you find other companies like Bluestone or other communities that you know, appreciate what you do, I think you will end up getting that same consistent, you know, return.
We're doing that already, and probably one day Spain, Portugal will not be enough. But as mentioned, you know, we have to also try to keep it balanced, growing organically, and also working on the internal structures. That takes time too. We just hired someone that we have been needing for months, and can't wait to have that person really working with us full time. One step at a time, but definitely I would say that my biggest satisfaction so far in these not even 2 years that I'm part of the Ventourist is to create personalized experiences for individuals or travelers, and to see what a difference it makes for them that someone listens to them, of the couple of things that are important to them. You know, it could be the type of room that they get, it could be the brand of the bike that they ride, it could be the amount of activity, you know, and that's really rewarding.
That's awesome, man. I'm so happy to be doing this with you. Like I said, it just, I've been thinking about it now since December when we had the first conversation about even working with this, and it's surreal to be sitting here in Madeira with this view. You know, it's just like,
we had a great day today hiking.
Such a cool thing. Is there anything else that you want to share to wrap this up? No,
well, I thank you for the opportunity, you know, and happy to share with this chat with the travel industry community, you know, our ideas, our journeys, and cheers to more.
Cheers, man. This is awesome.